So Booker T. Washington liked to read biographies. That's definitely one way to keep educating yourself through your whole life. Find something you like and read. Read. Of course, he's known for his industrial education, but he wasn't turning poor blacks into illiterate workers. Rather, giving them legs up in their communities by having a profession that's respected. If you're poor today, doesn't matter your race. If you're poor like me and the first person in your family to go to college and get a college degree, you need to have that in mind, that you need to make a living. You're not Bertrand Russell or some other lord for whom the liberal arts education was initially constructed, who just going to be a gentleman of leisure with nothing to do but to read Milton and play cricket all day. No, but in America, think about Copeland's Fanfare for the Common Man. Here's a good listening for you today. Fanfare for the Common Man. Bright, brilliant trumpets, horns, trombones, timpani playing a fanfare. Fanfares are for kings, emperors, dukes, at least a marquis, not for the common man, but not here in the US. You need to hold firm to your 40 hours of work, 40 hours of learning, leisure, where you're a gentlewoman, gentleman of leisure, of family, of community, and of reading, and of listening, and of looking, and of understanding how to live and die, and 40 hours of sleep. Must be yards all day. So I can't separate my philosophy of education as a music education philosopher from my experiences, and that is growing up rural, poor, and Catholic. God made me rural, poor, and Catholic. I can only make myself so far from that core and still be myself. Education tries to uproot us, go places, but I can't have it. So with my growth making me poor and rural and Catholic, and Dr. Bodo's Humanities 1, which I took at Clarion University of Pennsylvania as an 18-year-old, making me a liberally minded, lifelong philosopher, everyday philosopher, right? I was set even then, without having read much, on a path of deep learning, deep self-knowledge that I continue today. Today I finished up the reading of my favorite chapter of Marx. Again, I'll put links to the books that I'm mentioning in the comments or in the description, or maybe both. But I think you can see why this is a part of Marx that connects with me. I've also done historical research. My writing and research in Assadis Coleman, a music education philosopher and a music teacher, creative music teacher from the 1920s and 30s especially. You know, that guided me too during my doctoral program, as well as the study of Dewey Dewey is hard to argue against. Such a good theorist, but I think I'm going to do it. I think since I finished up my favorite chapter of Marx, I'm going to do the first chapter of moral principles in education and see what I agree with, what I disagree with now, today, as a 50-year-old middle school teacher. I think that'd be fun, right? You gonna follow with that? If so, see you there, right?